Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. Guess what day this is? It's Friday, Confab. Yes, it is. I look forward to this day because I get to talk to you. So it's nice for me. I don't know how pleasant it is for you, but it's nice for me. So grab your coffee if you got it, your tea, your Coca-Cola. Or I don't know, maybe you like root beer. Whatever the case may be. We're going to talk about something today that it's kind of touchy, and that's Christmas gifts. We're going to talk about Christmas gifts. Just to make it clear and to start out right up front, I stopped giving Christmas gifts. This will be my third year for not doing the Christmas gift giving thing. So the reason I say it's kind of touchy is because people think that they should do it, that they need to do it. And honestly, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned citizen or you're a younger person or you're just an individual who is living on a small income. Christmas can be quite a burden for people when it comes to gift giving, when it comes to spending money, or even just giving money for Christmas. So I really wanted to talk about that. I had been thinking about doing it, and then I was on the phone with my older daughter last week, and she happened to bring it up. She said, "Mom, I think you might want to talk about that because it's hard for some people, and even if it doesn't have anything to do necessarily with income, sometimes the gift giving can get out of control." So I really want to talk about that. Now, let me make it clear. I'm not telling you what to do. You do whatever you think is best for you, whatever suits you, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I am going to tell you that if and when you decide to make the decision to stop giving gifts at Christmas, and even other things like birthdays or whatever, it's going to be painful. That first year is not pleasant. It's difficult. So I just warn you ahead of time. I made a few notes because I wanted to make sure I stayed on track, because you know how I am. I stopped giving Christmas gifts. This will be my third year, so 3 years ago, I stopped giving Christmas gifts to family and others. I did it because, to put it bluntly, I can't afford it. My family has grown, not just my immediate family, but the grandkids are adults now. They have people in their lives, and also, we have blended families, things like that, and it was becoming so big for me, and I still kept trying to do it, and the expense was it was getting very costly. Even though I tried to keep it down, I tried to make it even across the board and treat everybody equally, it was a lot for me. Now, and at one point, 3 years ago, I was talking to my older daughter on the phone, and she said, "Mom," she said, "you've got to stop." She said, you cannot afford that. and you are spending money that you really don't have in order to buy Christmas gifts. And I had to agree with that. It was true. And she said, and then she said something that struck me. She said, Mom, your grandchildren make more money than you do. They make more money than you. She said, why are you continuing to do this? And it kind of struck home with me. So I decided to, okay, all right, I was not going to give gifts. And I notified family members and said, I'm not doing it this year. I can't afford it. And so it was painful for me to admit it. It was painful for me to stop giving gifts at Christmas. And it was very difficult the first year. The second year was a little bit easier, but it was still painful to me. And then this is the third year, and frankly, it's easier for me this year. So, and that's the reason why, that's my reason, is because I can't afford it. And I had to face reality. So it was a difficult decision. And just telling family that I'm not going to do it anymore. Subsequently, after that initial conversation, I was talking to my second son and my daughter-in-law on the phone, and they said, Mom, you need to just stop, because you can't afford it, and just stop doing it. So I did. There's one thing about being a seasoned citizen. You have to be able to take advice from your kids, because hopefully your kids have your best interest at heart, your adult children. And, you have to sometimes just say, okay, you're right, I can't continue that anymore, so I'm going to make a change. I did. I'm glad I did, because prior to that point, I had no emergency fund. I had hardly any savings to speak of, because I couldn't stretch it. I just couldn't. And then when you include birthdays, and that's a whole other thing, but I really don't give birthday gifts either. So I just actually I've slashed it all. So I know it's a difficult subject, but I think we do need to talk about it. So why do we give gifts? We give gifts because of obligation, and it's a tradition, and because we think we should, and because, you know what, we don't really want to admit that maybe Granny just can't afford it. Granny doesn't have the money for those things. And so letting go of that has been very liberating for me. And I don't feel bad about it anymore. I really don't. Because at this stage, I've got a nice emergency fund. I've got a good sinking fund. I'm able to put back money. I'm able to save 20% of my income for future. And, if your grandchildren, your children, if they love you, wouldn't they rather have that for you than what you can get for them or give to them at Christmas or birthday? Wouldn't they rather have that if you're knowing that you are secure? I think most of them probably would. Hopefully they would. So because of the obligation and tradition, what you're asking yourself to do is to let go of expectations, your expectations and others' expectations of you, and also being content with memories. And And I have to interject this here because it was important. It was an important pivotal moment for all of us in my family, actually. And that's my husband's passing at Christmas 16 years ago this year is the anniversary of his death, which, that's just something that is. So Christmas, it was the Christmas that wasn't, because he was ill and I didn't have time to do all the things that I would normally do for the grandchildren. And they were quite a bit younger then as well, but now they're all grown up. So what this does, this has shown me is that it enables me to be generous in other ways. So I can be more generous on special occasions, say a wedding or a graduation or something like that, because I've got some money tucked away that I can pull out and then be generous for them. And then also it enables me to give just because I've been able to build up some funds in order to do that. And I think every individual is different, every situation is different, and you may find that it will open up things to you as well. So if Christmas giving is a burden for you, and if you are racking up bills, or if you have a lot of anxiety over it, it's okay. It's okay. Just stop. I can't guarantee that someone won't be angry with you or feel hurt or whatever the case may be, but it'll pass. It will. It'll pass eventually. And it's okay. It will be okay. So if you're thinking about making that decision, don't be afraid of it. Just go forward, go ahead and go do it. And I think you will feel, not maybe the first season, not the first year, but later, you're going to feel a little better about it. So it's okay. It's okay. But I want to add this one thing as well. I have no expectations of gift giving to me. I really don't need anything. My kids are very good to me. And I really don't need anything. I love them. I like to be with them or talk with them. But as far as giving to me, I really don't need anything. I actually encourage them not to. They've got younger families. They have families, and it's a different situation when you have little grandchildren and things like that. So little grandchildren, that makes a difference. You have little kids, or if your children are little, that makes a difference as well. So everybody's situation is different. But if you are elderly, if you are young and your income is very small, and it's okay. And maybe you don't have to do it forever, but it's okay for maybe a year or two or whatever, a holiday or two. Just let it go, and just say, I really can't afford it. I really don't have the money this year, but I love you. And I was thinking too, I felt bad about it, but I thought, you know what? If my family, if my grandchildren do not know that I love them after all this time, that I love them, that I treasure them, that they are my world, if they do not know this by now, there's nothing I can do to convince them. Does that make sense to you? So, do you hear that, grandchildren? If they don't know Granny loves them after all this time and all the things we've been through, I can't convince them. And I think it's probably the same with you guys as well. Just remove, my late husband used to say, if you don't like a situation, remove yourself from it. And sometimes we have to. Sometimes we have to face reality, make the difficult decisions, and remove ourselves from that situation that is hindering us in the long term. Okay? So it's okay. I hope I can get your feedback on this. Let me know what you do and what your plans are as far as gift giving is concerned. It's something that we all need. I think we need to talk about it. We need to have a discussion about these things and not just pretend like, you know, have a holly jolly Christmas and let's spend a fortune because that's what we're supposed to do. Let's not do that. Let's not stick our head in the sand. Let's be real. Okay? All right. That's it for me today. I love you guys. You know I do. It was a little bit serious this time, but sometimes we need to talk about stuff, but it's okay. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you're doing. Let's talk amongst ourselves about how we approach Christmas gift giving and gift giving in general. And I'll tell you something. My Christmases are very stress-free, and this is the 3rd year in a row, and I don't regret it. I really don't. So, all right. Love you guys. As always, you know that little is much with God is in it. Let me know what you think, and let's talk. All right. I love you. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.